Hey y'all, welcome back to another review of Lofty Chess for Beyond the Gates, May 30th, 2025. Okay, so first things first, let me know your thoughts on today's new episode of Beyond the Gates. It was okay. I liked it. I don't know. How do y'all feel about Eva getting the evidence at the end of the episode and going to hide it or whatever she gonna do with it? I said then on the preview for next week's episode, they showed Jacob and the officer coming to search the place. And I said, she don't took the doggone evidence. I said, she don't took the doggone evidence now. I said, do that make her, what they call it, accomplice or accessory or something? I know Dana said something about Eva being an accessory after the fact. But I was like, now she don't took the evidence and she talking about some, now it's time for you to stay in my good graces or whatever. Says she got the gloves and the helmet. Yeah, she got the gloves and the helmet, and she on the preview for next week's episode talking about some it's time for you to be in my good graces or stay in my good graces for a change. And Jacob now at the doggone door trying to look for evidence. I don't know if that's gonna happen after the fact or what, but yeah, that's a dog. She could have got caught. She could have got caught. What else happened on the preview for next week's episode? That lady, what's her name? Sharon. She's supposed to be talking to Anita and saying, what did she say to her? I don't know. It got to be something more, y'all. What y'all think is the secret? I feel like whatever it is, it was in that file, in that little folder that she had that she was looking at, that she told Vernon was a menu. Because when he was about to get ready to go get it, she hurried up and got it. I said, if it was a menu, I don't think she would have reacted like that. Another thing, Tomas is saying to Bill, you want me to spy on your family or something like that. And he's supposed to pass out and Haley's supposed to call 911 or whatever. I said, what y'all think going on with Bill? I think, what was it, yesterday? I want to say yesterday or either this morning, somebody had uploaded that trailer for Beyond the Gates. And I seen it already, so I already knew what was gonna happen. I knew Bill was supposed to pass out, and she's supposed to call 911. I'm just wondering, is she responsible for him getting sick, or is it something else? And people just come in and saying they thought somebody said MS. Somebody, what did they say? They said once he have to be in a wheelchair or he gets sick, she's gonna leave him. I seen somebody talking about she's using him, she a gold digger, but I don't know, y'all. As of right now, I think she's doing something to him. I'm gonna say she doing something to him. I'm gonna say she got an agenda, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. We just gotta wait and see. But yeah, on today's episode, we're gonna start with Vernon, Anita, Tracy. So what was that? Hold on, y'all. Let me see. I don't know what that was. But on today's episode, Anita was looking at the little folder that Vernon thought was menu in there, and she said that's what she said. She said something about it was a menu, and she closed it real fast. And I was like, that ain't no menu. I said, gotta be something else. It has to be whatever secret they keep talking about, but they ain't revealed. It was in that folder. Oh, another thing that I seen somebody come in and say, yeah, I know how yesterday I was talking about the envelope that was on the table. Somebody said they thought it was negative pregnancy. Excuse me, a negative pregnancy result, something like that. I thought it was something else. I just noticed how they showed it or whatever, but she never got a chance to open it. But yeah, to finish with Vernon and Anita, like I said, she was waiting for Tracy and Sharon. Tracy ends up showing up, but Sharon didn't come. Tracy ends up telling Anita that she think it'll be best if she met up with her and talk to her, to smooth things over because she don't think she want to talk to her. Basically, that's what she said without saying it. So she ends up meeting up with the lady, and the lady's still mad, obviously. Like I said, the lady's still mad or whatever. And on next week's episode, she's supposed to be confronting Anita. And I said, about time somebody confront her because I'm ready to see what the secret is. I've been waiting. They always hinting around and stuff for a long time. But I said, yeah, I'm waiting on her to reveal. She probably gonna be the one to tell it. Whatever Anita hiding, she gonna be the one to tell it. But yeah, let me see. I already said Anita waiting on Tracy and Sharon. She didn't show up. Tracy planned on talking to Sharon alone, and Anita was saying how she was worried. So her and Vernon end up talking, and he tried to use reverse psychology on her to get her to really say how she truly feel. Because at first, she was feeling down about the concert and saying, maybe she shouldn't have did it or whatever. So he used reverse psychology, and she just revealed that she actually do want to be on that stage again with her sisters. And I was like, yeah, I can see it happening. I definitely can. And I also can see that dude coming too. They're gonna have to cast him, but sooner or later, he gonna show up. What was his name? Dante Green? Yeah, I think he gonna show up down the line. I don't know who they gonna cast. I also seen people saying how they don't like Keith playing Ted. They need to bring back the first Ted, and that they could just put Keith in another role. And they said, I think I already told y'all that. I think I already told y'all the part about they said that Keith was the one that's supposed to be playing Ted originally, but he had other bookings. I think I did tell y'all. But yeah, let me see. Like I said, Vernon was trying to use reverse psychology on Anita, thinks maybe he was wrong. He was like, if I was wrong, for suggesting it, then, he was apologizing or whatever. But by the end of it, like I said, she definitely wants to do the concert. And that's when there's a knock on the door and she goes and Sharon's there. Sharon's there. But I skipped the part. Sharon had told Tracy if Nita and them think that it's gonna be some sweet reunion or whatever, they sadly mistaken. I was like, she finna stir us some trouble. I said she finna stir us some trouble and tell whatever it is. But she did say though, she said she hoping the only way she'll agree to this is if she see that Anita is remorseful. Hold on. She said she had to see that Anita is remorseful for everything that she did. And I said, just say what the lady did besides the obvious, what y'all already said, that she left the group and left y'all behind. It has to be more to the story. That's what I think. I don't know, y'all. We'll see. And that's all that happened with them, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to scan my notes to let y'all know. Pamela, Danny, this dude ain't Adam. Pamela, Danny, and a new dude called Adam. So Pamela ends up introducing Adam to Danny. And she was saying, excuse me, he said he owned a jewelry company. So I'm thinking like, okay, like she trying to do business and cause they starting a modeling agency, maybe the dude can hook them up with some jewelry for the models or something like that. She trying to set her up on a date. They do their little introductions or whatever. And I forgot what Danny said, but he ends up leaving. And so she was telling Pamela after he left that she don't need her to introduce her to nobody, hook her up with nobody. And she was like, it's time for you to move on from Bill. I said, right on. I said, definitely. And she keeps trying to act like I skipped the part. She came in talking about Haley and her imaginary baby. And I said, this lady needs to give it a rest. She came in, that's what I forgot, y'all. She came in talking about this doggone imaginary baby, y'all. And that's when Pamela was telling her, she seemed obsessed and she seemed like she hasn't gotten over Bill and she worried about what she gonna do next and stuff. And she was like, she had moved on, and that's when she tells about Andre. She ends up saying that Andre seemed like he wants more or whatever, but she not ready for that. And she knew that before she got involved, just like he knew before he got involved. And my thing about Andre is he's sitting over here telling Ted, because he told Ted on today's episode, y'all. He told Ted that he's involved with Danny. He was like, he wants something more, but she doesn't. She's not over the whole Bill situation. But I said, but I feel like he being dishonest with himself too, because he obviously into Ashley. And he over here making it seem like, oh, that's what I forgot. On next week's episode, Andre and Danny's supposed to be talking about what he wants and what she wants and stuff like that. So we'll see if they actually end up being in a real relationship. What I've been waiting on is for Bill. I wanted Bill to do a pop-up like Danny be walking in their house, to walk in and see Andre and Danny together. That's what I wanted to see. But yeah, that's what I wanted to see, y'all. I wanted to see how Bill will react to seeing Andre, because he was mad about Pamela. Oh, that's another thing that she brought up, y'all. She brought up the fact that she felt like the reason why Danny kissed her is because she was trying to stick it to Bill and Haley. But she was like, I didn't even know they was there. I do agree with her. I do believe her when she said that, though. I do believe that she didn't even know they was there. But yeah, who else? Like I said, she ends up telling her about her and Andre, and they was just talking about it, and she clearly not ready for anything serious. That's what I got from it. She's not ready for anything serious because she's still stuck on what's his name, Bill. She's still stuck on Bill or whatever. Who else we got? Let's see. Andre, no, not them yet. Kat, Mona, Nicole. I don't know if they said the church was doing a little clothing drive, because I'm trying to put the pieces together. I'm confused. At first I thought they was gonna say Eva had the leather jacket or whatever, but no, apparently they was doing some type of clothing drive or whatever, and they was going through it, and Kat was donating her stuff. So she ends up going through the box, and she found a leather jacket, y'all. She found a leather jacket, Dana leather jacket. Excuse me. She found the leather jacket, and then I said, how convenient. So first she found the leather jacket. I said, I'm finna get caught now. She ain't got them boots, though. Somebody said that she's supposed to find boots, but I ain't seen them boots yet. But so far, they got a leather jacket. she found a what was it? What did she say? She got a parking ticket or something like that. She got a receipt at the coffee shop, and then she found something else. I can't remember what it was, but she got something else. So that's some evidence, but it's not enough. Nicole ends up saying that they need hard evidence. They need something that she can't deny, because she could just say she could just say anything. Anybody could have been wearing a leather jacket or anything like that. So she was about to go with them, but then I'm assuming she got distracted by Ted delivering these flowers or having the flowers delivered. But yeah, when Nicole walked in, she heard Mona and Kat talking, and they tried to cover it up or whatever. She was like, "No, it's been enough lies." So I'm thinking she about to tell that she seen Dana and Ted together. But from my thoughts, Lord, from what I seen, she was just showing her the photo, and they think that it's Dana or whatever. And Mona was like, she couldn't say that it was actually her because she can't tell. So that's when they started going through the boxes. She found the leather jacket. She found the receipts and stuff like that. Then even on took her tail over here and got the doggone helmet and the gloves, and I don't know if she hid it or what. But I said, now that make you look guilty too. I said she could just say y'all both was in it, because you got the evidence right there. You don't set yourself up more. But yeah, let me make sure. Kat said she walked in on Ted. Oh, Kat was telling Mona that she walked in on Ted and Dana. Let's see what else. I think the last scene with Kat, no, it wasn't. After they left Nicole house, they ended up going to Orphy I think. I forgot the name already, y'all. They went to the little restaurant place or whatever. And they was walking, they was talking. I said, did she have that? I was trying to look in her hands. Was that the same leather jacket? Did she have that leather jacket in her hand when she went there? Kat had something in her hand. I don't know if it was. I'm hoping it wasn't, because Dana right there, she gonna see it if she did. But I'm assuming that wasn't it. But yeah, they came in there and they wanted to talk to the see if anybody had information about Dana or somebody, Leslie or whatever, about that night. And that's when she came out of nowhere. She always popping up. Where she be coming from? She pop up. I think she heard them talking, because she asked about the conspiracy theories and all this other stuff. I said, But what else? Let's see. Andre and Ted. Andre and Ted talk about Kat and Dana, about how Kat seen Dana there, and she tried to make it seem like they was involved and all this other stuff. He ends up talking about Nicole. Andre ends up revealing that Kat found evidence that Dana tried to take out Laura, and they was just talking about that. I said, and after all that, I still don't think that's enough to make him stay away, because what did Andre say? I think he asked him if he was trying to co-parent with her or what. Now, I don't understand. Like, you shouldn't want to be nowhere near her for so many different reasons. It's not just because she helped to blow up your life, because you should never slept with her to begin with. But it's the fact that you said out your own mouth, you know she crazy, and you know that she was the one that tried to run Laura off the road, that even didn't have nothing to do with it. Why would you even let her anywhere near you? Come on now. But yeah, they were sitting there talking about that. What else happened? What else? Ted ends up saying that Dana got what she wanted in regards to Nicole and him having trouble, and he was just talking about the pre women and stuff like that. And then some type of way he started talking to Andre about the lifestyle he lived and how he just be juggling women and stuff like that. And he can't name one woman that he's been with that he actually cared about and stuff like that. So he was like, I can. He ends up revealing that. I said, so now so far Pamela knows, and Danny told Pamela or asked her not to say anything because she think that Nicole gonna be worried about her. So Pamela knows and Ted knows, and he didn't have the reaction that I thought he would. He was like, "It's not like y'all related or anything. That's not um, you're my nephew or whatever. You're not related to Danny." But he didn't react how I thought or assumed that he would react. He was cool about it, but he did say, when you in the circle, they protect you and look after you or whatever. But once you out that circle, it's a different story. And he said, after everything I said, you still want to be involved. But yeah, he was just saying how, he thinks that Andre cares more about Danny than Danny do, because Danny wants to keep it a secret. But once again, I say, like, I feel like he's setting himself up for failure, because once Ashley and Derek break up, because I think we all know by now, eventually they're gonna break up. he gonna want her because that's what he want anyways. And we don't even know the backstory about how long. Well, I think they did touch on it a little bit about how long they've been knowing each other, stuff like that. But yeah, from the first episode, you could see, or the first scene that they showed with Ashley and Andre, that you could see that they was into each other. But yeah, what else happened? I think Ted said he was still trying to win Nicole back, and that's when he had the flowers delivered, and she ended up taking one of the flowers out, and she put it on the side of her ear. I said, "That's right, Ted. Get your woman back. Get your wife back. She gonna go. She gonna go." I said, "Just look. She already done put the flower in the over her ear or whatever." Y'all know what that reminded me of when they showed her reading the letter, and you can hear Ted's voice. Have y'all seen what was it that he played on? What was it called? I'm asking y'all, and I don't even remember the name. Was it Dysfunctional Friends? When he had died, but they didn't show. I think they did attend his funeral or whatever, and he was telling them what to do. Did y'all let me know if y'all seen that? But yeah, that's what they reminded me of when they was reading his letter. And you can hear his voice and stuff. That's what that scene reminded me of. But let's see who it. Dana and Eva. I was confused by that because I thought once she didn't give her up to Jacob, I thought they was, on the path to doing better or whatever. So she came there. She ends up. She already had her suitcase, her bags packed or whatever, and she was trying to convince her to let her stay. She was trying to tell her, she loved her, she missed her. She the only one that really get her and understand her. She didn't care nothing about that. She didn't care. Look, that was a little emotional scene. They be doing it. The ladies that play them, they be doing a good job. I tell you that. And one thing before we continue, that Dana said, I think when she was by herself, because she was by herself listening to music, she had on headphones or whatever, and she didn't even see that Eva had came in and seen her with the helmet and the gloves or whatever, and she had seen when she put it back. But people have been talking about on Facebook, they said the lady that plays Dana is married to the dude that's the lead singer of the Temptations. And I had seen it. I said, that's Tony Grant. What is his name? Is it Tony Grant? Maybe I'm mixing them up. Is it Tony Grant, y'all? Either way it goes, he played on, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Don't he play on a Tyler Perry show? Or didn't he play on a Tyler Perry show, y'all? If I'm not mistaken, the dude play on the Tyler Perry show, y'all. But yeah, she was saying when she came back, Eva came back or whatever, she knocked, and that's when she let her in. She was like, she was distracted. She didn't hear her because she was listening to the Temptations. She was just talking about how the new lead singer is fine and all this other stuff. And I said, they said they married. I said, look at that. I said, look at that. But if I'm not mistaken, that's the dude that played on Tyler Perry play. What else happened? Let me see. Sharon and Tracy already talked about how they was talking, and she was saying, she's still upset about what Anita did. Hold on, wait, let me see. Yeah, she's still upset, and she said if they think it's gonna be a sweet reunion, they got another thing coming, and she ends up going there. We already covered that. I think the last people we already covered, Kat, Mona, and Dana. Yeah, we already covered them, y'all. So that's pretty much everything. Excuse me. But I did right at the top of the page. I said, why would Dana keep evidence in plain sight? Now, it was in a closet, in a bag, and stuff like that. But why would you keep that evidence? Why they be keeping this? Ain't the first time. This ain't the first time. I said, make it make sense. What was that on? Was it on this or something else? It was on something. And I was like, why would you keep the evidence right there? Why wouldn't you get rid of it? Then she gonna have the audacity to tell Eva that there's no evidence and everything because Eva was telling her how she's still upset that she tried or implied to Kat that she was the one that ran Laura off the road. And that's when, she was saying how she didn't have no evidence or whatever. And the girl done already seen her put it in the top of the closet. But Eva done messed up. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. But Eva done messed up, and I seen people coming in there. They was like, Eva, at first she was innocent and stuff like that, but now that she hiding evidence to try to help her mama or tell her, now she has to be on her good side and all this extra stuff that makes her just as guilty. I said, right, because they right there at the door, and you don't took the doggone evidence. If you was gonna take the evidence, you might as well have turned it in and say where you found it. But at the same time, she still could say she helped her. And I was like, you made yourself guilty. You made yourself guilty. She confessed to you. You didn't tell. You got the evidence. You ain't bring it in. You just as guilty at this point. But yeah, that's everything. Let me make sure. Let me scan my notes, y'all. Let's see. Mona and them having clothing drive. Dana tells Eva to take her things and leave. Oh, she made her get her key back, and she was like, "How she supposed to? She want to come by. How she supposed to do this?" She's talking about some. She's like, "Not like everybody else." I was like, "This lady crazy." But yeah, that's it. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces, have a great rest of the day and be safe and a great weekend.